In this module, you will learn about the road markings, which are the second division of traffic signs. Road markings. Road markings are applied on road surfaces to provide visual information to road users. These help to control and regulate the flow of traffic. Similar to road signs, road markings help the road users to be safe on the road. Road markings are either yellow or white. Road markings are further divided into three main categories: regulatory road marking, warning road marking, guidance road marking. Let's learn about regulatory road markings. Regulatory road marking. These road markings tell the road users what actions they can or cannot do. Motorists must obey these road markings, otherwise it will be considered as a violation. No passing line. This is a solid line along the carriageway, which means motorists must not cross this line from either side except in case of an emergency. It is commonly found on two-way roads. Stop line. This is a solid white line marked across the carriageway, which means you must come to a complete stop before the line. It is found at intersections with a stop sign or traffic signals. Motorists must make sure that the intersection is clear before proceeding. Give way line. This is a broken white line marked across the carriageway, which means give way to any vehicle or pedestrian crossing your path. It is found at intersections with a give way sign. Motorists must slow down or stop if necessary and make sure that the intersection is clear before proceeding. Pedestrian crossings. Pedestrian crossings are marked with thick white lines across the crossing to make it visible to the pedestrian and motorists. It can be found on single carriageway or dual carriageway. Motorists must slow down and give way to the pedestrians. Usually, zigzag lines are used before the pedestrian crossing, where motorists must avoid lane changing, overtaking, parking, stopping, or reversing. Box junction. Box junctions are marked with yellow that makes a large box with crisscross grid of diagonal painted lines. Their purpose is to keep the junction clear for smooth flow of traffic. It is commonly found at intersections. Motorists should not enter the box junction until the exit is clear, even if the signal is green, because it can block the traffic and can cause an accident or attract fines. Tramline pedestrian crossing. Tramline pedestrian crossings are marked with thick black and yellow lines across the tram tracks to make it visible to the pedestrian. Moreover, they are controlled by traffic signals. Pedestrians must observe pedestrian signal to cross the line safely. Zigzag zone line. Zigzag lines are marked with yellow at the edges and white in the center along the carriageway, which mandates road users that motorists shall not stop or park adjacent to the line markings except to give way to pedestrians or cyclists, change lane, overtake, or reverse. Cyclists and pedestrians shall not cross the zigzag zone except at pedestrian crossing. Tram box junction. Tram box junction is the area where the tram track crosses the junction. The surface area along the track is highlighted with red color over the yellow box, which indicates the tram movement area. Motorists must always keep the red zone clear and not stop the vehicle on it in order to avoid obstruction to the tram movement. Now let's learn about the second type of road markings, that is, warning road markings. Warning road markings are used to warn the road users of an approaching hazard or hazardous condition. There are different types of warning road markings. Commonly used markings are rumble strip, speed humps, tram level crossing. Rumble strips. Rumble strips are painted yellow raised lines across the carriageway. When motorists drive over them, they can hear the rumble, feel the vibration, which alerts them and warns them of an approaching hazard like roundabout, pedestrian crossing, traffic light, bridge, or speed breakers. Speed humps. Speed hump markings are used to warn motorists of the presence of a speed hump in the roadway. It comprises of yellow triangular areas arranged at the entry upslope of the speed hump, and the long axes of the triangle are aligned in the direction of travel. The raised table pedestrian crossing is usually combined with the speed hump marking. Motorists must reduce the speed and cross it only if it is clear. Tram level crossing. Tram level crossing is marked with thick white lines making X-shape mark on the lane. This marking is used to warn the motorists that their lane is about to cross the tram line. Motorists should proceed with care as the tram might be crossing after turning from the lane. Now let's learn about the third and last type of road markings, that is, guidance road markings. Guidance road markings are used to help motorists understand the paths vehicles should follow through intersections or roundabouts. Lines in the center of the road are marked along the carriageway to separate two or more lanes traveling in the same direction. There are 3 different patterns of lines that provide guidance to motorists. These are short intermittent lines, long intermittent lines, continuous longitudinal lines. Short intermittent lines. Short intermittent lines along the carriageway are used on a stretch of road where there is no side road, junction, or exits. It is considered as a safe zone. Motorists can change lane or overtake after performing the necessary checks. Long intermittent lines. Long intermittent lines along the carriageway are used on a stretch of road where there is a side road, junction, or exits. It is considered as a potential hazard zone. Motorists can change lane but need to be careful as there might be vehicles joining in their path. Continuous longitudinal lines. Continuous longitudinal lines or solid lines along the carriageway are used near the curves, intersections, hills, or other danger zones. It is considered as an actual hazard zone. Motorists must not overtake or change lanes unless it is an emergency. Broken yellow line. Broken yellow line is marked along the carriageway in the center of the road. It is used on two-way or the single carriageway roads. Motorists must drive carefully, and if it is necessary to overtake, they must do so safely. Broken white lines. Broken white line is painted along the carriageway in the center of the road. It is commonly used on the one-way or dual carriageway roads. Motorists must observe the pattern of the lines and drive carefully within one lane. Solid lines, single or double. Solid single or double lines are marked along the carriageway in the center of the road. Usually it is seen in areas that are hazardous, like sharp bends, where the motorist's view is not clear. Motorists must not cross these solid lines. Double yellow lines, solid on one side and broken on the other. Double yellow lines, solid on one side and broken on the other, are painted along the carriageway in the center of the road. Motorists can only cross these lines to overtake, enter, or leave the road if the broken line is on their side. It is usually found in areas where the road is going uphill or downhill with bends. Edge of carriageway marking. This is a solid yellow line marked along the edge of the carriageway. The area beyond this line is called hard shoulder or emergency lane, as it can only be used by emergency vehicles. Motorists should not stop beyond this line unless it is an emergency. Traffic lane arrows. Traffic lane arrows are marked in the middle of the lanes. These indicate the direction in which traffic in these lanes must travel. These arrows indicate the deceleration lane ahead. This arrow guides the motorists to move into the lane as indicated. Traffic lane markings. These markings highlight the areas that separate the traffic movements. Motorists must travel in their lane and avoid driving, parking, or stopping on these markings, as they indicate a physical hazard. Keep the entrance clear. This yellow marking is used at the entrance to keep it clear. It is found at the entrance of government buildings, schools, or off-street premises. Motorists must not wait, stop, or park their vehicles in front of this particular area because it may obstruct the way and view.